Okay, we're working with dot plots a little bit more. We're going to be creating some dot plots in this one. Problem number one is to complete the dot plot. They've given us the data right here. We're going to create the dot plot down here. It's talking about lengths of Sandy's pencils. It's got different colors and what the lengths of them are. So basically all you do is put a dot above the amount that we're trying to plot on our number line down here. So 6 1/4 is going to be the first one, so I got a dot right there above 6 1/4. 5 1/4 right there, so 5 1/4. 6 3/4, dot right there, 6 3/4. 5 3/4, 5 3/4. Got 6 3/4 for the orange. 6 3/4 there. And 6 1/2 for the yellow. 6 1/2. So I created a dot plot there. Question number 2. Looking at the chart for Sandy's pencils and the dot plot you completed, compare them with the length of Serena's pencils shown on the previous page. Who has more pencils that are the same length, Serena or Sandy? Okay, and we could tell that Serena had more of the same, because when you're looking back on that, I think she had 4 of the same length pencils, and on this one the most she had was 2 of the same length, and those were 6 3/4 inch pencils. Okay, and problem number 3, how is it dot plot like a frequency table, and how is it different? Okay, and they're both the same in the fact that we use it to compare data. The only difference is on a dot plot, it kind of shows you a little picture. You can kind of see, like right here, you can see the data. I think it's probably a little bit easier to visualize the data when you put it on a number line, and you can actually see how many there are of each. You can kind of just look at which one has the most dots or which one is the tallest. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read these other questions to you. You're going to work out 4 and 5 on your own. And question number 4, Rico wants to organize his collection of paper chains. Okay, use the data and the table to complete the dot plot. So you're going to use this data over here, and you can't see mine really well there, but on your page you can see it plenty good. And go ahead and plot those points on this number line right there. Question number 5, what is the length of the longest paper chain, and what is the shortest paper chain? So just pick out the longest one and the shortest one. Let's go and look at the second page. And I didn't highlight these, but you're going to work on you're going to do 6 on your own, and 7 on your own, and 8 on your own. I'll go ahead and read them for you. Okay, Henry and some friends went to play miniature golf. Their scores are shown below. Make a dot plot of their scores. Be sure to include the title for the dot plot and the label for the values. Okay. So number 6, you need to create a dot plot using that data right there. Okay, question number 7. If a dot plot has 3 dots at 4 inches, 1 dot at 5 inches, and 2 dots at 3.5 inches, which length is the most common? Pick out which one would be the most common. Question number 8. Okay, use a strip diagram. Okay. Gavin collects baseball cards. His goal is to have 500 baseball cards. He has 367 cards now. How many more cards does he need? And you need to go ahead and list how many more cards he needs. Question number 9. We'll work on this one together. A dot plot contains a value 2 1/8, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, and 3 5/8. What scale should be used to place the dots between 2 and 3? List each value of the scale between 2 and 3 in its simplest form. Okay, very good. So we're going to do our dot plot between 2 and 3. So that's going to be 2. This is going to be 3. Our scale is going to be eighths. We're going to break it into eighths because eighths got the largest denominator, and that's what we're going to use to break it down into. So if I separate that in half, that'll leave 4 on each side. If I separate each one of those in half, there'll be 2 in each area. So we'll go ahead and split those in half. And that, split each one of those in half, that should give us eighths. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And what it's asking us to do is write it in its simplest form right there. And we automatically know that right here in the center is going to be 1/2, and that's going to be the simplest form for that. When we separated each one of our quadrants into halves in, that's going to be creating fourths. So that's going to be 1/4. Or 1/2, that's 1/4. When we separated that one in half, that would be, that's, our half is 2/4, and our next one is 3/4. Okay, and then when we separated our fourths in half, that gives us eighths. This is the first eighth, 1/8. 1/4 would be 2/8. The next one is 3/8. The half is 4/8, and then we have 5/8. That's 6/8, and the next one would be 7/8, and 3 would be 2 and 8/8. So that's our basically our number line using its simplest form. We could go ahead. I'll list these other ones here. So this is also 2/8. This is also 2/4 and 4/8. Okay, this is also 6/8. And we know that's our whole right there. So we'll go ahead and plot these now. We'll go ahead and plot it since we went ahead and made our number line. So 2 and 1/8 is going to be right here. 2 and 1/4 is right here. 2 1/2 is right here. And 2 and 5/8 is right here. And that's how we would plot those numbers right there between 2 and 3. Question number 10. Okay, Trisha's swimming coach recorded the times it took her to swim 1 lap each day last week. Okay, make a dot plot of Trisha's lap times. Be sure to include the title for the dot plot and labels for each for the values. So the title would be Trisha's swim times. I'm just going to abbreviate swim times. And I went ahead and broke it down between 50 seconds and 75 seconds because that's going to cover all the data. Because I can see that my fastest time she did was 51 seconds, and the longest time was 72 seconds right there. So starting for Monday, that's 55 seconds. That's going to be right here. 55 seconds. The next time on Tuesday was 57 seconds. It's 57 seconds right there. Next was on Wednesday was 51 seconds. Right there. And on Tuesday was 72 seconds. 71, 72. Looks like that's going to be our outlier. And then on Friday, she had another quick time of 51 seconds. Kind of goes up in my question there a little bit, doesn't it? And let me just take a real quick my book and make sure, because it's, yep, that's right. Okay, and as you can see, most of her times kind of fell right in this area between in under a minute, basically, and under 60 seconds. So let's go ahead and look at the next question. Okay, extend your thinking. Okay, if you made a dot plot for Trisha's time using 0 and 5 minutes as the boundaries, would the outlier be more or less obvious than the boundaries of the dot plots were 50 and 75 seconds? And explain. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of show you. and I'll kind of talk you through it as you do it. We went ahead and on this one we went ahead and used a number line, and we used between 50 and 75 seconds there, and that encompassed all the data. Okay, and obviously 0 minutes to 5 minutes is still going to get all the data, but we'll go and kind of plot it in there a little bit. 55 seconds, which was Monday's time, is going to be really close to 1 minute right here. Should be up here, won't it? 55 seconds, going to be really close right there. Then I got 57 seconds, which is a little bit closer to 1. Should be right there. And then I have 51 seconds again. And then I have 72 seconds, which is more than a minute. Not quite a minute and a half, because that's 90 seconds. So 72 would be somewhere over here. And then I have 51 seconds again. I didn't have 51 three times. Let me look at my table again real quick. I can't really read it real good. So it's 55, 57, 51. Okay, so I didn't put my next 51 down. My next 51 is going to be a little bit closer to 0 over here. And I messed up there a little bit somehow. But you can see how all this information is really close together right here. It's a little bit harder to see the outlier. I've got a lot of data out here that I'm not using, and a little bit over here. But if you see on this one right here, on this one up top here, I use a majority of my number line right there. So it's always important to create a good range when you're doing your dot plots, because it makes it a little bit easier than trying to interpret that data right there. As you can see, I made some mistakes right there because, partly because it didn't transfer real well. But I'm trying to put my information so close together, I made a few mistakes right there. So that's going to be our lesson on creating dot plots. Make sure you go back and do the other ones on your own, ones that are highlighted in yellow.